Australia's Great Barrier Reef has missed out on being placed on UNESCO's World Heritage in Danger list, but the organisation is calling for more action to secure the reef's long-term conservation. UNESCO has just released a report into the health of the reef. It warns that an increase in coastal developments is threatening its health and sustainability. Well, for more, we're joined now by Gilly Llewellyn of the World Wildlife Fund's Conservation Manager. Good morning, Gilly. Thank you very much for coming in. Obviously, a very important day in terms of where we're at with the health of the Great Barrier Reef. And we've stopped short of having the Great Barrier Reef placed on the in danger list, but still quite critical.
Yes, look, there were strong words from UNESCO's World Heritage Committee overnight. They sent a mission out in March concerned about the developments that were going ahead on Curtis Island and in the Gladstone region. Rather than being reassured, it appears that the World Heritage Committee is even more concerned about the scale and pace of coastal development along the entire Great Barrier Reef coast. Now, it's true that they haven't called for it being on World Heritage Danger, listed as World Heritage in Danger in this particular paper, but they've really put the government on notice that business as usual is not going to be acceptable, and that by February of next year they want to see substantial progress. And part of what they're signalling is they want to see a halt on permitting new development outside the established port areas. So that's a fairly strong message for the government. And if they don't see that substantial progress, then they're going to be calling for consideration of being listed on World Heritage in Danger next year.
Well, that's my question as well. You know, in terms of this development with UNESCO putting us on notice with some of these developments happening up in Queensland, how effective will this be in terms of actually turning around some of these development processes?
Look, I think it's always useful when you have a group like the World Heritage Committee coming in and shining a spotlight on the issues. They can take a whole of reef perspective. You know, the Great Barrier Reef is an iconic World Heritage area. It's the type of place that no government would want to see be put on the World Heritage in Danger list on their watch. So I think this is a really strong wake-up call. Some of the actions that they're foreshadowing that they want to see progress on include that when it comes to new developments, particularly ones that could affect the value of the reef. So when a development involves things like dredging and dumping spoil dredge in the reef area, or removing seagrass habitat that's the home for turtles and dugongs and dolphins, those types of permitting those new developments is not going to be acceptable in the eyes of UNESCO. It highlighted some of the good things that are happening. So there's good progress being made to tackle water quality. So the effect of poor water quality coming into the reef that affects the coastal zone. There's been good progress there. That needs to continue. That was another strong message. Some of the programs are due to come to an end 2013. They want to see those programs actually continue and actually get more investment. It's working. Let's invest in it. Let's make it work even better.
Now, we have pointed out that Gladstone Harbour and Curtis Island developments in those two areas were highlighted in the report. What sort of implications do you think this report will have for those developments that are already happening?
Well, they've called for an independent review of Gladstone and Curtis Island, and quite frankly, none of us, not the developers, not the government, not environmentalists, none of us want to see the types of concerns and issues that are being raised around Gladstone Harbour. And we never want to see that happen again. So let's stand back, have a look, let's see what's gone wrong, what thresholds or limits have been exceeded, and let's better understand how to put those thresholds and limits in place all along the reef so we don't see a repeat of Gladstone Harbour again.
And how do you expect the government will respond to this report?
Oh, I'd like to see some strong action from the government, from the federal government and from the Queensland government. We've got a new government in Queensland. They made some strong commitments towards the health of the reef during the election. Let's see them put some, the money where the rhetoric is.
Dr. Gilly Llewellyn, thank you very much for joining us this morning on Weekend Breakfast.
That's a pleasure.